initially cutting an inset to fit onto my chuck and using a jig that I made so that the hole doesn't become too big. I'm going to use the skew chisel to cut an undercut so that it will fit snugly into the jig and won't come out. I'll also use the point of the skew chisel to put a design into the bottom of the bowl. Now I will use a full cut with a bowl gouge to start shaping the outside shape of the bowl. I use a wet sanding method, so now I'm going to completely soak the outside of the bowl with boiled linseed oil prior to sanding. And I will do this soaking for each grit of sandpaper. The oil soaks into the wood, and as you sand it, it becomes extremely smooth. But I must remember to lower the speed of the lathe for my sanding process. I move up the grits of sandpaper. I soak the project again in the linseed oil for each subsequent grit. Prior to doing the final grit of sandpaper, which is 600, I will coat the entire project again with a different product. It's a mixture of linseed oil, polyurethane, and mineral spirits, 1/3 of each one into a container, shaken and applied to the project, and then sanding with 600 grit. After the final sanding, I will polish it with a paper towel, and now the finish is completely done on the outside and it's time to turn the project over. And then of course I must remember to get the speed of the lathe up before I start hollowing the inside of the bowl. I actually use a 1/2-inch bowl gouge to establish the inner part of the bowl. switch over to an easy wood tool in order to get rid of the bulk of the inner part of the bowl and establish the final depth. This material is taken out very quickly. I then switch over to an easy wood finishing tool in order to establish the slope onto the inside of the bowl and to blend it in with the bottom. It's now time to sand the inside of the project, so once again I will soak it with boiled linseed oil and use that soaking process for each individual grit as I move up the scale. It's now time for the 600 grit, so once again I soak the project with my mixture of linseed oil, polyurethane and mineral spirits for the 600 grit sanding. Now that I have a beautiful smooth finish on both the inside and the outside, it's time to take the finished project off and have a look.